God knows you are tired. He sees it. He feels it. He understands the weight you carry, the silent battles you fight, and the countless nights you lay awake staring at the ceiling, wondering when the storm will pass. This is not just a word of comfort, it is a divine confirmation. The pain you have endured has not gone unnoticed by the one who made the heavens and the earth. The tears you've cried in secret are known to God, and He has collected every drop. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. And I came to tell you today, God is about to step in. When your strength is gone, when your prayers feel unanswered, when your faith feels like it's hanging by a thread, God is still in control. God does not sleep. God does not grow weary. And though you may feel like your back is against the wall, He is already preparing the breakthrough. You see, the tiredness you feel is not weakness. It is the sign of a soul that has carried much, fought long, and trusted deeply. And God honors that trust. He honors that persistence. You're not going under. You're rising. You're not being buried. You're being planted for something far greater than you could imagine. You may be asking, why has it taken so long? Why have I had to go through so much? Because the greater the weight, the greater the purpose. God allows the struggle not to destroy you, but to prepare you. The weariness is not your end, it is the place where God begins. It is in that place of exhaustion, when you can no longer rely on your own strength, that God reveals His. When the flesh has failed and the will has withered, that's when God shows up in power. Don't think for a moment that God has left you. Even when it feels like heaven is silent, He is watching. He is measuring. He is orchestrating something far bigger than you can see. You've come through sleepless nights, through heartbreak, through confusion and fear, and yet you are still standing. That is not an accident. That is God's hand. And if He brought you this far, He will carry you the rest of the way. You are not fighting alone. The very power that created the sun and commands the stars is surrounding you. And when you are at your lowest, God is at His highest. God is closest to those whose hearts are broken, whose spirits are crushed, whose strength is gone. He leans in when the world walks away. He lifts up when others push down. And right now, God is leaning toward you with a plan in His hand and power in His breath. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not too broken, too old, too tired, or too far gone. You are exactly where you need to be for God to show up and show out. And when He steps in, everything changes. He is not bound by time. He is not limited by human logic. He doesn't need the approval of people to move on your behalf. When God says it's your time, no one can stop Him. This tired season of your life is not the end of your story. It is the hallway before the door opens. It is the silence before the shift. God is not done with you. He is just getting started. You may have lost some things, some people, some years, but you have not lost your purpose. You have not lost your destiny. And though you are tired, your strength is not your own. God is your strength. And He will lift you up when you can't lift yourself. You may feel like giving up, but God says, hold on. You may feel like you've prayed and nothing has changed, but God says, wait. Because the moment you think it's over is the exact moment God begins to move. He allows you to reach the end of yourself so that you can discover the beginning of His power. He strips away every false hope until you're leaning on nothing but Him, and that is when miracles happen. This is not just motivation, this is revelation. This is God speaking to the depths of your soul. You've been tired in your body, tired in your mind, tired in your spirit, but God is about to breathe new wind into your sails. The enemy has tried to exhaust you so that you'll settle for less than what God has for you. But the fact that you are still standing is proof that he failed. The fact that you're still listening is proof that your story is not over. And what's coming is greater than what you lost. God has seen every sacrifice you made in silence. He has witnessed the patience you've shown when others misunderstood you. He knows the way you've chosen righteousness when it would have been easier to choose revenge. He sees the way you keep showing up even when you feel empty inside. And for all of that, God is about to reward you. You have sown in tears, and now you are about to reap in joy. Don't be ashamed of your exhaustion. It's a holy exhaustion. It comes from standing firm in a world that keeps trying to shake you. It comes from carrying burdens you didn't ask for but handled anyway. It comes from walking through seasons that broke others but couldn't break you. And now, that tiredness is about to be exchanged for divine strength. God is about to lift you, carry you, and restore everything the enemy tried to drain from your life. You didn't survive just to survive. You survived because God still has something for you to do. There is still a blessing to receive, a life to live, a calling to fulfill. God is not finished with you. He has seen the nights you couldn't sleep. He's heard the cries you couldn't put into words. He knows the battles you never told anyone about. And He's stepping in not with a whisper, but with a thunder, not with a suggestion, but with power. He is the God who changes everything in a moment. Your weariness is not a sign that you're weak. It's a sign that you fought long and hard, and God is proud of you. You didn't quit. You didn't give in. You didn't run away. And for that, a new strength is coming. A supernatural peace is coming. Doors are about to open that no man can shut. Help is coming from places you didn't expect. God is about to make a way where there was no way. You may have felt like God was distant, but He's been closer than ever. He's been holding you together when everything around you was falling apart. And now He's getting ready to step in, not just to comfort you, but to change everything around you. You've carried the weight long enough. You've cried long enough. You've endured long enough. Now comes the shift. You didn't lose because you were weak. You endured because God gave you the strength to survive the storm. You didn't fail because you felt tired. You passed the test because you stayed faithful when it was hard. And now, everything you lost in the fire, God is about to return in double. You're not at the end. You're at the edge of a divine encounter. There is a sacred moment coming, a divine interruption. God is stepping into your tiredness with restoration in His hand. And when He steps in, your enemies will scatter. Your fears will vanish. Your doubts will be silenced. What you've been praying for will begin to manifest. And the tired version of you will be transformed into a vessel of power, peace, and purpose. Let the world say what it wants. Let the critics scoff. Let the doubters doubt. But you know what God whispered to your heart. You know the promise He gave you in the secret place. And He is not a God who lies. If He said He would do it, He will. If He said He would deliver you, better believe He's on His way. So don't give up now. Don't let the tiredness pull you into despair. God is closer than your next breath. He is near to the brokenhearted. He saves those who are crushed in spirit. And He is about to lift your head and strengthen your bones. What felt like the end will be the beginning of something extraordinary. What felt like defeat will be revealed as preparation for victory. God is not late. He's right on time. And just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. His timing is not ours, but His timing is perfect. And when He moves in such a way that no one can take the credit but Him. He will show up in such power that you'll say, only God could have done this. And yes, you are tired, but tired does not mean defeated. Tired does not mean forsaken. It means you've walked long enough for God to finally say, rest, my child. Now let me take over. You've leaned on your own understanding long enough. Now God is saying, let me carry you. Let me fight for you. Let me open the doors you could never open. He is not just the God of the beginning. He is the God who steps into the middle, who walks with you through the valley, who strengthens you on the battlefield, and who brings you out with more than you had before. You may feel like you've been wandering for years, but God is about to bring you into your promised place. You may have lost count of how many times you wanted to quit, but God counted every time you stayed. And now, the reward is near. The breakthrough is near. The divine shift is near. You are not alone. You are not powerless. You are not done. You are God's child, and He is about to step in. He is about to take your hand, lift your spirit, and remind you that you are still His, and He has never let go. He never will. Keep standing. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Because God is about to show you that everything you went through was not for nothing. It was for this moment, this divine intersection where heaven meets earth, where exhaustion meets restoration, and where your tired soul meets the unlimited power of God. God is not merely aware of your pain, He is deeply involved in your process. You see, God is not a distant observer casually watching your struggle unfold from afar. No, God is intricately present in your suffering, walking with you through every valley, guiding your footsteps through every wilderness. Your tears do not fall into nothingness. They fall into the hands of the Almighty, who counts each one and stores them as seeds for a future harvest of joy. You are not alone in your tiredness. God is in it with you. And not only is He with you, He is about to lift you out of it. There are moments in life when exhaustion doesn't come from physical labor, but from carrying emotional burdens that have worn your soul thin. You've smiled through the pain. You've kept quiet when your heart was breaking. You've stood tall when everything inside you was crumbling. And now, God is saying, enough. You've done all you can. Now watch what I will do. This is the kind of exhaustion that attracts divine intervention. When you have nothing left, that is when God begins to show you just how much He has in store for you. The silence you've experienced was not abandonment, it was a divine pause. God often becomes silent when He is preparing something sacred. The soil doesn't make noise while it's growing the seed, but deep inside, something is happening. In your stillness, God has been rearranging, reshaping, and renewing things that you cannot yet see. Just because you don't hear God doesn't mean He's not working. His silence is not absence, it is preparation. And now, that preparation is about to produce manifestation. When your spirit groans under the weight of battles you don't even have words for, God hears it louder than any spoken prayer. When you've reached that sacred place of brokenness, when all your strength has run dry, and you fall into the arms of faith, that's when God says, now let me show you who I am. The weakness you feel is the gateway for God's strength to be revealed. The delay you hate is the doorway through which God brings greater clarity, deeper wisdom, and stronger resolve. You've been tired not just from the trials of life, but from trying to be strong for everyone around you. You've carried others. You've encouraged when you needed encouragement. You gave when you were empty. You stood firm when others fell apart. And though no one clapped for your endurance, God saw it. And God is about to reward the battles you fought in silence. He is about to reward the kindness you gave without expectation. He is about to reward the humility you showed when you could have retaliated. There is a quiet power that comes when your strength is gone and all you can do is whisper, God, help me. That whisper shakes the heavens. That whisper summons divine attention. God does not ignore the faint cry of a weary soul, and He does not turn away from those who have reached the end of themselves. In fact, that's where He does His best work. When human strength is gone, when logic has no more solutions, when the night feels endless, that is the soil where divine miracles grow. There is a beauty in being tired after doing what is right. There is a sacredness in being exhausted from obedience, not from rebellion. When you get tired from pursuing truth, from showing mercy, from resisting temptation, from holding on to faith, that kind of tiredness is precious in the eyes of God, because it means you've been fighting the good fight, and those who fight the good fight are never forgotten. God will vindicate your struggle. He will crown your consistency. He will multiply what you thought was wasted. Do not let the enemy lie to you in your tiredness. Do not believe the whispers that tell you God has left, that your prayers are empty, that your labor has been in vain. The enemy always shouts the loudest before God breaks through. He tries to get you to quit right before the door opens. But God is not a man that he should lie, nor does he forget the labor of love shown in his name. The reward is coming not because of your strength, but because of your surrender. You must understand something deep in your spirit. When God steps in, he doesn't patch what's broken, he makes it new. He doesn't just restore what was lost, he increases what remains. He doesn't just heal your pain, he transforms your heart. That's the kind of breakthrough that is coming for you. You will not just recover, you will rise. You will not just survive, you will shine. Because God is not content with just bringing you back to where you were, he is taking you somewhere you've never been. This weariness is not a sign of failure, it is a sign that you have reached the edge of divine involvement. It is a sacred exhaustion that precedes a holy encounter. You've tried everything in your power. You've knocked on every door, you've cried every tear, and now you are standing on the edge of a moment that will shift the entire trajectory of your life. God is about to act. God is about to release what has been held back. God is about to shift the weight off your shoulders and place peace into your heart. You don't need to see how it's going to happen. You just need to trust that it will. Because God doesn't reveal every step, he reveals his presence. And his presence is enough to walk through the fire without being burned. His presence is enough to stand in the storm and not be moved. His presence is enough to calm the chaos within you, even if the chaos around you remains. There is power in trusting God when you're tired. That kind of trust breaks strongholds. That kind of faith invites divine acceleration. You've waited long enough, you've wept long enough. Now it is time to believe again, not because you feel strong, but because God is your strength. And when he moves, he does it in a way that makes the tired worth it. He brings such peace that you forget the storm. He brings such favor that you forget the struggle. He brings such clarity that you understand why the waiting had to happen. What you thought was the breaking point will become the turning point. What you thought was a setback will be revealed as a setup. What you thought was the end will be the beginning of something far greater. That's how God works. He doesn't just fix your life, he transforms it. He doesn't just answer your prayers, he exceeds them. He doesn't just step in to help, he steps in to take over. So if you feel like you're at the end of your rope, don't despair. That's exactly where God wants you to be not, so you'll suffer, but so you'll finally release control. God doesn't need your strength, he needs your surrender. Let go of the anxiety. Let go of the fear. Let go of trying to figure it all out. Rest in the knowledge that God is still writing your story, and the chapter you're entering will not look like the one you're leaving behind. You are not what the world says you are. You are not what your past says you are. You are what God says you are called. Chosen, protected, guided, and sustained. You are a vessel of purpose. And even in your tiredness, you are being prepared for something divine. God will use your exhaustion to deepen your reliance, to sharpen your focus, and to enlarge your capacity. And when he steps in, the tiredness will turn into testimony. No moment of pain has been wasted. No sleepless night has gone unnoticed. Every cry, every ache, every sigh that escaped your lips has moved the heart of God. And now, the heavens are responding. The season is shifting. The clouds are parting. And the light of divine intervention is about to shine upon your path. Not because you were strong enough, but because you trusted enough. That's the kind of strength God is giving you now. Not the strength to carry the weight, but the strength to let him carry it for you. Not the strength to keep fighting alone, but the strength to believe that help is on the way. And that help doesn't come from people, from systems, or from circumstances. It comes from God alone. You've come through fire, you've come through flood, and you're still standing. You didn't lose your mind, you didn't quit, you didn't sink. That's not by accident. That's because God held you when you couldn't hold yourself. And he's not about to let go now. In fact, he's stepping in stronger than ever before. There comes a time when the soul cries not for answers, but for relief. Not for explanations, but for peace. You've crossed deserts with a heart full of faith. You've climbed mountains